Greetings everyone. So I want to play you this video clip of an incident I should say, that took place very recently in New York City, where a pro-life journalist slash activist was interviewing a woman about Planned Parenthood, and during this interview she was viciously attacked, punched in the face by this woman, and then the woman kind of walked off proud of herself. Now, I do write in the title that it's a pro-life activist. The original video said pro-life journalist. I think if you're doing things for a particular cause, you're more of an activist than a journalist. I suppose you can still be a journalist, but I would say you're more of an activist. And I would also say that if you are an activist, I feel there are better ways to do this. There are better ways to do your activism than to be on the street talking to people. If you're talking to someone who's pro-choice and you start telling them how they're wrong, they're going to get annoyed. And then if you put that video up online, hoping to get lots of views, to get lots of likes, to get lots of pats on the back, telling you how you destroyed this person with your arguments, etc. I'm not convinced as to whether you're doing this because you actually care about trying to eliminate abortions, or if you're partly doing this because you want to build your profile and have your videos get lots of views and likes. But anyway, look, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here, because during this particular interview, she wasn't really doing the kind of gotcha style where she wanted to back the person she was interviewing into a corner. She was just trying to explain to her some of the awful things that Planned Parenthood does. So I'm only really going to play part of this interview. If you want to watch more, I'll put the link below. But as you can see at the beginning, it starts off very nice. This woman comes over. She doesn't actually even know what the topic's going to be. She just sees a woman standing there with a microphone, somebody with a professional looking camera, and she's like, oh great, nice, she's happy to talk, you know, she wants to give her opinion on whatever she's asked about.
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you, such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome.
And then even afterwards, when she realizes the topic of conversation is going to be Planned Parenthood, she's quite happy to give her opinion. She's obviously pro this organization, and she explains why.
You could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, you know, beneficial things that the youth really should use right now.
Okay. So you have a pretty positive view of Planned Parenthood.
I mean, majority. I don't know. Is this like a yes or no? Am I wrong?
It's your opinion.
But yeah, that is definitely my opinion. I feel like, especially as teens, you know, people get caught up in things that they really don't want to commit to.
And then the person interviewing her, whose name, by the way, is Savannah Craven, she starts telling her some of the bad things that they do. But it's still civil. It's still conducted in a civil manner. Yes, they disagree, but it's fine. And then here is the turning point. This is the moment where you can see the woman being interviewed starts to get annoyed.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're gonna take the whole baby out, and as they should, because I shouldn't be a taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC for women.
You should be a
who never
taxpayer
wanted the
paying
baby.
for abortions?
Exactly, but as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want them.
You can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care? And
Why not? Why not?
You notice the change in tone, and you notice that she's being a little bit more aggressive in the way she's talking and starting to get frustrated. So it's building inside her. You can see that it's building.
You went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point.
And then right there, as the interviewer, Savannah Craven, throws back at the woman that she's just said that children in foster care should be killed, This is the moment where I think she's like, right, she's really angry now and she doesn't know what to do. Of course, she could have handled this way better. She could have just walked away if she had decided that she felt the interviewer wasn't being fair, but instead she decides to do this.
What I'm
That's really.
Punched her right in the face, completely uncalled for. And then the husband of Savannah Craven, who was doing the filming, starts following her. And just to rub it in even more, she's walking off proudly, putting up her middle finger.
What the f did you do? Alright. Yeah, she attacked my wife.
Alright.
Your wife is attacking.
Yeah, so why you wanna?
Why is this following me? Why you following me?
I'm gonna get arrested. Look.
I don't actually know why he bothered to follow her, unless he was going over there to knock her out. And of course, I wouldn't condone a man knocking out a woman, but I suspect there are a number of husbands who, if they saw their wife get punched in the face, even if it was by a woman, they may retaliate physically. But surely the most important thing in this case would have been to check on his wife and stay with his wife, because you don't really need to follow this woman and film her. You've already got her on camera very clearly during the interview. You've even got the assault on camera, so it won't be difficult to have this woman arrested and charged if she hasn't already been. And I would actually personally think she should get a short-term prison sentence, or if she doesn't get that, then a big fine and, I don't know, maybe 1,000 hours of community service. That should make her rethink the situation next time she wants to assault somebody in public. But listen, a lot of the things that Savannah Craven was saying were absolutely on point. She didn't even bring up the fact that it's ironic that a black woman would be supporting Planned Parenthood given what the founder thought of black people, and one of the reasons for founding this organization was to not have any more black babies being born. But maybe they didn't get to that. Maybe she was going to get to that later. Either way, it was a horrific thing to watch. She punched her so hard that she was bleeding. She busted her open. She was bleeding from her face. And she did have to go to hospital to get stitches. So a really horrific incident. And, you know, sometimes I feel sorry for the people on the other side. In this case, it's difficult too because she assaulted the interviewer. But I know where it's coming from. I know what they believe, and that they truly believe it is a human right, that women have the right to have an abortion because it's their body. And so when somebody is explaining to them why they don't have that right, they get angry and they feel that you're trying to take away a right that they absolutely should have. It's almost as if you were telling them you don't have a right to live. This isn't the only case where this has happened. There are numerous examples where somebody who's doing an interview is pro-life, or even somebody taking part in some kind of protest that's pro-life gets attacked physically. And actually, if anybody happens to watch this video who's pro-choice, I challenge you to show me a video clip of anyone who's pro-choice getting physically assaulted by someone who's pro-life, because I have not seen one clip like that anywhere. Whereas I have seen numerous clips of people who are pro-life getting assaulted by people who are pro-choice, pro a woman's right to have an abortion. Folks, let me know what you thought of this video. Obviously shocking. It's hard to believe anybody would be on the side of the woman who committed the assault. What do you think her punishment should be from the authorities? And do you think this is the best way to go about things if you're pro-life, to be interviewing people on the street and pointing out to them why their arguments are wrong and why the thing they believe in is wrong? Because let's be honest, it's very unlikely you're ever going to pull someone up on the side of the street, explain to them why they're wrong about something they believe, and then they're going to just change their mind and go, you know what, you're right, and they're going to think differently. I think it's a much longer process than that. And there are many other ways to be a pro-life activist that don't involve filming videos of yourself talking to people who are pro-choice and then putting them up online. You can be involved in various petitions. You can pray outside abortion clinics without harassing anyone going into them. Just pray outside abortion clinics. You might not be able to do that so much in the UK in some places, but in the USA, I think you still can, and in other countries. There are ways to do it charitably, I think, even though it is a very serious topic, of course. But anyway, as I said, let me know what you think. Thanks very much for watching the video, and have a blessed day.